We often think of the American story as a binary code, a simple struggle between a colony and its king. But if we look deeper into the static of the 18th century, we find a much more profound systemic failure. Long before the Revolution, there was a glitch that spanned the entire globe. It was a collision between two incompatible simulations of empire, the French and the British. In the mid-1700s, North America was a vast, unrendered wilderness, where the maps were written in blood and the code of the frontier defied the logic of European courts. One young, inexperienced officer, a man named George Washington, would accidentally trigger a global deletion event. Today, we perform a psychological and clinical autopsy on the French and Indian War. We investigate how a struggle for a few acres of forest became the error that destroyed New France, bankrupted a monarchy, and paved the way for the American experiment. The dual simulation. In 1750, North America was a shared workspace that neither empire could truly control. It was a system under immense pressure. One small error was all it took to initiate a total crash. The Washington error. History is often redirected by the most unlikely data points. In this case, it was a 21-year-old surveyor with everything to prove. Washington's mission to Fort Le Boeuf, the Jumonville Glen incident, a skirmish that resulted in the death of a French diplomat. Washington didn't just start a fight, he inadvertently executed a World War command. We analyzed the psychological state of a young man realizing he has just broken the peace of the entire world. The global system failure. What began in a rainy ravine in Pennsylvania rapidly escalated into the 7 Years' War, the first truly global simulation. The conflict spreads to Europe, India, and the high seas. We analyzed the British system update under William Pitt, who realized that to win the world, he had to focus entirely on North America. The war becomes a matter of industrial output and naval dominance. The French, overextended and distracted by European land wars, begin to see their American data corrupted. The code of the wilderness. To win in the New World, the European logic had to be abandoned. The glitch was the forest itself. Detailing the role of the indigenous nations, the Iroquois, the Algonquin, and others. They were the original architects of this land, used as proxy servers by both empires. We analyzed the psychological betrayal at the heart of the conflict, how European powers promised protection but delivered only dispossession. The code of the frontier was a brutal, pragmatic reality that shattered the chivalric myths of the British and French officers. The deletion of New France. 1759. The Battle of the Plains of Abraham. The moment the French.exe was permanently deleted from the North American hard drive. The fall of Quebec. The deaths of both generals, Wolfe and Montcalm, in a single hour of chaos. This was the hard reset. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 saw France cede almost all its North American territory. We perform an autopsy on the French Empire. How did a superpower lose a continent? It was a failure of logistics, a failure of imagination, and a failure to adapt to the glitch of the wilderness. The seeds of revolution. But a system reset always leaves a residue. The British had won the continent, but they had inherited a massive debt error. The cost of the war led to the Stamp Act and the taxation of the colonies. The removal of the French threat meant the American colonists no longer needed British protection. The very soldiers who fought for the king, including George Washington, now had the software to fight against him. The French and Indian War didn't end a conflict, it simply paved the way for the next, more violent glitch, the American Revolution. History is not a clean line. It is a series of corrections. The war between America and France, or rather, the war for America between the giants, reminds us that nothing is permanent. New France is now a ghost, and the British Empire that triumphed over it would soon lose its most precious prize. Are we currently living through a similar continental erasure? Are the maps being rewritten while we sleep? Let us talk about the price of empire in the comments below. This is The Glitch,